light of the world. You are the light of the world. But if that light is under a bushel, brr, it's lost something kind of crucial.
Another day, another review. It's Friday night. Hanging with the boys. Tommy the Hammer, Johnny Rocket, Adam McDouglies. And tonight is John's movie pick. I told him to keep it a surprise until this very moment. So you're going to get me and Dangle McDougal's genuine reactions to his flick. Johnny, lay it on us. What you got in store?
When you told me it was my turn, I knew immediately what I was to bring over here. Something I dug up out of the box, dusted it off, and we're going to put you boys under the Godspell.
What is the Godspell?
If you recall, a little while back, we watched another movie in this vein called Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh, yes! Oh, man, so is this another musical?
This is another musical.
Is it a religious musical?
Oh, you betcha.
We're going to be singing tonight, apparently.
Yes.
We have some real treats in store on this. Like, I know you guys are going to love this. Peace, love, and Jesus, man.
Hey, you know we're all Jesus freaks on Neon Trash.
Jesus is alright with me.
Yeah, so we're going to give it a watch. Like I said, never seen it. Digging up the trailer. Give it a peep, motherfuckers. We'll be right back.
Get ready for Godspell. Godspell, the gospel according to today.
Drink. This is my blood, shed for the forgiveness of sins. I shall never again drink from the fruit of the vine until I drink it again with you in the kingdom of my Father.
Godspell, the phenomenal musical entertainment that's been thrilling stage audiences the world over, now spreads its joys to the screen. Godspell, rated G.
Just got done watching Godspell here, and it's been building up a lot for me to bring this over here. I don't know.
Why do you say that?
I have no idea why I said that. All right. We just got done watching Godspell, and I gotta say, I've been, goddamn.
It's been building up.
It's been building. Alright, we just got done watching Godspell, and I am very, very happy you guys finally got to see this movie, because it is a treat. It is a real piece of work.
Yes, it
to
is.
say the least. It does have some confusing moments here and there, but overall, I mean, it being a musical, it really brings the house down with the music in this. Like, the songs are great. The theatrics involved here are just really cool. It's, I don't know, a real little time capsule of that 70s, like, Jesus freak era, you know? They were really trying to, still spread the gospel, but try to, tune into today's youth of 1973. And that's what they thought they were into, I guess.
It's very much a time capsule. In a good way.
Jesus Christ Superstar, is, entirely its own thing, but this has a very inner city, New York City, late or early 1970s vibe about it, and it's different, but I feel like it works as a good companion piece to Jesus Christ Superstar, and, I can't help but compare it. I mean, in terms of, Christian and God-oriented rock musicals, you're gonna think of Jesus Christ Superstar. I think that Jesus Christ Superstar obviously takes the cake. This is a close second. What a weird fucking movie. Honestly, this is a strange movie.
Having grown up in the church myself, I recognize a lot of the stories in here, and I was able to, explain a little bit here and there, but there's a few times Tom was like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, it rings a far-off bell from some sermon I heard 30 years ago, but I really can't answer that question. And some of it, I I mean, I guess, it's up to translation, right? It's what you're reading into it, And if this could happen to inspire you to, pick up a Bible and try to find what they were singing about in one of those songs, or like, what was that? Let me look and see what they're talking about from this.
Sure.
I mean, I think that was kind of the whole point of it, was to get
good
you to,
morals.
It's.
And Adam actually brought up a really good point early, like in the middle of the movie. He said that a lot of the messages in this film.
I mean, the crazy thing about this, and which makes it interesting for its time period, is, the whole Jesus freaks, they were like hippies, but they were like really into Jesus, so they were really religious. Now, contemporarily, when you think of religion, you often think of just the typical conservative version, but this is a much more liberal take, shall we say, on the Gospels and all that, because it focuses more on stories that have to do with wealth and material possessions, and just
superficiality that seems to have taken over society.
Yeah, and the hippies themselves, even excluding any religious message, were all about we're very much against materialism and just all about getting back to nature and just it was so this kind of cues into that, and it's a very interesting take that you don't often hear on religion.
I counted at least 4 or 5 songs that captivated me in either the musicianship or the production of the dancing and the setting, or just the overall vocalization of a lot of these singers and actors and actresses. I mean, it nails the whole rock opera, stage presence that you would expect from a film called Godspell.
At the end of the day, I can go ahead and give Godspell 8 out of 10 stars. I really enjoyed it. It did kind of drag a little bit. It does kind of confuse you as to where it goes with the story, and you do have an actor kind of playing 2 different roles at 2 different points in the movie, which makes it a little confusing.
Sure.
But, I mean, you just kind of have to buckle up and go on the wild ride that is Godspell, and I really can't enjoy it for what it is, so definitely 8 out of 10.
That's awesome.
Douglies.
Well, I tell you, I've been wrestling with the star count for this, and just because, I'm typically... It's a struggle of it, it's like... But I will make one more point about this film. The sets were crazy. I don't know how they did it. And I tell you, one of the eeriest, scenes in this film, takes place where they're on top of some, building, and it's they have a really amazing view of the city, and the building they're on top of turns out to be one of the Twin Towers. So it's think on that for a moment, okay? The implications of that. It's
it's a little dark.
It definitely just kind of changed the dichotomy of that scene, really. It's supposed to be...
Pinch.
It's supposed to be really breathtaking, oh my gosh.
I'm going to have to go with a 6.5.
There he is! There you guys have it!
I don't normally do musicals, but at the same time, I can appreciate this for what it's worth. So, I can appreciate it, and I'm so glad John showed it to me then, and it's just, I love...
Excellent choice, man.
Excellent choice, man. It was very much enjoyable, and I appreciate. And like Tom said, there were some songs in there that really had me going. It was cool. So
we got the old 6, we got the old 7, we got the old 8 stars out of 10. It's it's one of those movies. If you're not used to musicals, it might find a little bit off-putting. At the end of the day, I hope we have been informative to you guys. Until the next time, tune in to Neon Trash. Bing!
Amen.
Watch this film with beer.
With beer. Right here. Beer.
A few beers.
A few beers.
Maybe even several beers.
It will enhance your appreciation of said film.
They do talk about drinking wine.
They do.
They do mention wine drinking. They was drinking some wine. There was a couple funny little lines in this movie. You're like, wait a minute, really? Sure.
There were times when, some of the,
there were some pretty liberal translations of some shit.
There were.
To
elaborate on what I said before, it focused on, it seemed to focus more on, maintenance of the environment, and it focused on the evils of, wealth accumulation and just, the superficiality of just, living only for money, and just, it was all about like living humbly and all that. So I say that as a non-believer, but it's just,
But I gotta say that the guy that they chose to play the Jesus character, like, for me, visually fell flat. I mean, he fell flat, in my opinion. But at the same time, when you think about Jesus,
yeah, he was an odd choice, because I mean, I could see in the context of like the early '70s how it might have worked in a sort of far out, crazy
it
drugged
was
out
supposed
fashion,
to be that kind of surrealness, though. It wasn't supposed to be that literal. They wanted you to dig into it yourself and kind of really get the message. It wasn't about presenting that image. It wanted to shake it up.
Well, it was a modern day take.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy, like, bizarre take on like what Jesus would be for, like, some hippie in the early '70s.
I mean, it was supposed to. I believe all the characters there were supposed to be his disciples. They hear the call, the word of God, and off they go. And so, yeah, there's that word again.
Theatrical kind of vibe. And I must say, all the performers. I mean, this goes to the heart of what like theater and improv was all about back in the heyday of the '60s and '70s and all that. It was beautiful, and I gotta say, all the performers did a really amazing job in this film.
It is true.
Yeah.
I I've taken acting class before. I know how difficult it is, and it's like I gotta hand it to these folks. I mean,
De Niro here took an acting class.
I'm not boasting. I'm actually trying to say just how difficult it is. I mean, it's like it's a lot harder than it looks. Trust me, believe me, it's awful. I mean, I wish, but it's like, obviously
Raging
not.
Douglies.
Yeah, Raging Douglies. Yeah.
So I gotta say, like,
You talking to me?
I'm really glad you
talking to me?
brought this
Huh?
movie over, John. Like, this
Me
is
too. Thank you, John. This is
out of left
a great
field,
pick, dude.
completely
Yes. I love it.
unexpected.